Norbert, you started actually your love and your journey with the dolphins back in the days in Egypt. With one ambassador dolphin, you told me that wonderful story that got you into this world. And afterwards, you have running the dolphin therapy first in Ukraine, then in Turkey, then in Romania for some time, now in Greece, and you're still doing also the Turkey. And what are the experiences? What are the differences that you have realized and that journey, you know? Because I can imagine your experiences from Ukraine are one chapter of your life, the experiences from Turkey something else. What was specific for every single country that you worked? And what was specific for the dolphins that were there, that you had the chance to work with them as a therapist?
Well, the work with the dolphins and in my biography with the dolphins, it was definitely quite a journey. And I think that in each place that I worked and in each team I worked and all the animals that I worked with, I took something with me, an experience, a learning, and all the places had some learning gifts and realizations for me. When I stepped into this, when I got into this work with dolphins, it was my personal experience because a friend of mine took me to this place in Egypt to see this wild dolphin who befriended with a Bedouin guy. So this was a fisherman. A guy who couldn't speak because of speech disorder, disability.
Wow.
And he also was deaf. He could not hear, and he was a bit excluded from the
society,
from the village boys. Yeah.
Okay.
And also the fishermen are the lowest in the hierarchy of a Bedouin village.
Okay.
So those guys, the higher guys, they do work with camels or they do trading, business or whatever, but fisherman is the lowest. And so he was this like low caste guy, and he met and this dolphin approached him at his boat when he was fishing.
Okay.
And so he shared a fish with her, and she kept coming and hung out with him. And
so they established the kind of
relationship
and
that
friendship.
was in 1993 when it started. So they slowly established a relationship with each other, and that went on and deepened and intensified over the years. At the beginning, it was quite like a remote outside in the reef, in the fishing grounds. But then later on, she followed him to the village, and I arrived in this place in 1997. So. That was already, this was going on already for 4 years or so. Yeah. By that time, she hung out there in front of his house pretty much the whole day. Sometimes in the night, she went off for hunting or whatever business she looked after. But during the day, she was almost every day. So, and this friend of mine, he was from Israel, and the Israelis, they knew about it because at that time it was a kind of like hippie vacation place for Israelis to go. So he told me about it. He took me there, and I was like completely, that blew my mind. And this semi-wild dolphin, and it was, I dived with her, and sometimes when she was in the mood, together with the Bedouin guy, she would also allow to be touched, but very rarely. You really had to like calm down, be really, immerse, so that she would really let you close. So she played also with this close and distance thing, and that was amazing for me. And
did you guys know back in the days that she is a female?
Yes.
You
yes.
did.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Because this is not very typical for females. Normally, the male dolphins are the ones that get in touch with humans.
Exactly, because solo dolphins, solo males are usually clan bosses who became old and they were thrown
Out of the society.
Yeah. Another male took over the power over the clan
As
and
alpha
exactly.
animal, yeah.
And that male leaves the group and then he lives as a solo, or he befriends with another male, and then this is why we sometimes also encounter male couples. They are usually old alphas that left the group, but this was a female. And it is indeed a little bit an unsolved mystery why this solo female, why she was there.
Do you have an idea what could happen there, Robert? Because you know the dolphins so well, and you know that these ambassador dolphins are mostly male. And in his case, we have that story of the female dolphin in Egypt.
There actually is a few cases of females.
They are.
There is, but you're right. There is much more cases of males. I believe for the reason I absolutely agree with Norbert that this is
thrown out of the group,
excluded. I believe that some animals also are just opportunistic. You know, they are. It's related also to fishing activities.
Exactly, yeah.
And then they find a source of calories very easy, you know, to get, and they just take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Especially if you have an animal that is solitary, that we don't know if, I don't know the case of that particular animal, but maybe that animal has a life with a pod that we don't know, you know.
It was the case because she got pregnant 3 times during the time
she
I
was
was
probably she was probably interacting with a group of dolphin, but she
also had her spare time
she
with
has
the
a spare
humans.
time, but you know, when she was not there, she was more probably with other dolphins socializing or whatever. I think why are they doing this? Maybe each case is different, you know. I think some animals are really rejected by the group, or maybe it can be a young animal that lost the mother and doesn't know really how to hunt, or an animal was sick and then he recovered but close to the human activity, was fed and he found this comfortable, so he will just stay there. As a dolphin professional, the only thing that I would recommend is for people who has contact with animal like this is just to be very respectful. First, to many people say, you see a dolphin, well, I want to swim with it.
Yeah,
so that's
jump immediately.
So we go in the pool, we go in the water, we go in the sea in this case, and you say, I want to swim with them. I want to dive with them. I want that he give me the dorsal fin. I want that he drug me. It's always, I want. I think we have sometimes to step back and just saying, what does really the animal want? Okay, does he really want to swim with you? Does he really want to dive with you? Or maybe he's just there by curiosity, he just want to observe you. Maybe he's waiting for food. We don't know. It's very difficult to give an interpretation of this animal behavior in that moment. Those animals can also react negatively if they expect something and you offer them something else. The reaction might not be always so friendly. That can happen, and it has happened with some animal. I knew a case of a dolphin like this in a port in Italy. He was following the fishermen when the fishing boat fleet was going back in the port. He was just following because he was eating was falling down, and he was very famous in Italy. Filippo was his nickname. And then he was staying in the harbor. And of course, it was an attraction of the small location there. So the people started to jump in the water, but he didn't want that. He wanted just to eat the fish falling down from the fishing boats.
And being left alone.
So I was back then working in a park in Italy, and I had many people from that location coming to me and asking me, how you do all your stuff with the dolphin? Because we go there, he's beating us, he's biting us, he's doing this. And I told them, maybe he doesn't want to do that, you know. The dolphin I work with, I know what I can do with them because I know in which condition they are. I know, are they ready to do that? If they are doing something that different and they don't want to be disturbed, I have the possibility to understand it. With a wild dolphin, how can you?
Yeah.
You just make a speculation. Well, it's a dolphin, it's nice. A dolphin don't attack people. So Well, that's not true. They can if they feel threat, and
Yes.
and you just go, and sometimes you can have a bad surprise. I am, in general, not a big fan of interaction with
Wild dolphins.
wild dolphin. In general, I think those animals should be, if you have to interact with them, they should be very well studied. We should know more about the individual, knowing a bit more. I think it was the case for that female. You said when you went there, it was already years that she was going there. So I believe that they have accumulated experience with that animal on what was possible to do and what was not possible to do, what she was allowing the people to do and not allowing. But
the Bedouin guy even did a small show with her in the late days. She would do leaps and
So he trained her basically a little bit.
Yeah, well, you can condition the animal. The animal learn. I think one of the characteristics of the dolphin is that make these animals interesting. We keep saying the word dolphin. In reality, the word dolphin doesn't make a lot of sense. Dolphin, it's a family. It's a family of animals. What we have here on your back is bottlenose dolphin.
Yeah.
It's one species of dolphin, but those are Tursiops truncatus. That's the scientific name. There is many species of dolphin, nearly 14.
Yeah.
But in the everybody think dolphin, it's that.
Yes,
because
the
this is
bottlenose,
this sympathetic
smile.
face, the smile, and everything. But it's just one species.
Yeah.
And there are even several kinds of bottlenose
and even
dolphins.
in the bottlenose,
you
also have diversity.
Because Olin, for example, was an Indicus bottlenose dolphin. She was very tall and had spotted belly.
Amazing.
Very beautiful.
Amazing.
And very, very tall dolphin.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So somehow we all fell in love with the dolphins relatively young. In your case, that was that Egyptian story. In my case, was the case of Delfin Joce in Montenegro. And then you have found out that there is a dolphin therapy, probably as I did in a certain point, a little bit later after you. You found out about the work of David Nathanson, right, in Florida.
Yeah.
And as a psychologist, you started your own dolphin therapy. We can call it organization, right? Or even a company or whatever, institute.
Yeah,
whatever.
That was a bit of process.
That was a bit process,
That was
right?
a bit of process.
Yeah.
Well,
you started in Ukraine, right? That was your first. No.
Actually, I started in that place in Egypt with Olin, with this wild dolphin.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So, after I had this experience for myself, and that I was like totally, affectionated by it, and I said to myself, I got to return to this place. And when I got back, I started to tell everyone, about this place and about this experience. And actually, a lot of, a small group of my friends and people from friends, I gathered a group and we returned to this place for a week to meet Olin and stay with the Bedouin people there, with the tribe at the beach. And that was the first dolphin group that I organized. It was actually just it was planned as a one-time thing. But then after this trip, I organized another trip and I went there, I don't know, 10 times or so with groups of dolphin enthusiasts who wanted to spend a week with this dolphin to become part of this experience. And but the goal was also in this group, we actually we stayed with the Bedouins, we slept in their tents, we became part of their hospitality, and meeting the dolphin was also together with this Bedouin guy Abdallah, who was the main guy for Olin. So it was really respectful. This was my attitude towards this whole thing. To meet her in her habitat in a respectful way, to become part of this unique experience and unique encounter. And when I led these groups, when I organized these groups, I saw that a lot of psychological process
are taking place
at the people.
Okay.
In the combination of the experience to stay in this like really very primitive accommodation with the Bedouin people, eating with the people, very simple but very, very ancient atmosphere. And the nature and the dolphins, so all this is, it was an experience where people started to, in the evening, the conversations were profound. People talked about their lives. I mean, what they want to change in their lives, what is really necessary in life, and all these kind of topics. And I became interested, that, okay, this has also, there is a psychological value, of this, what's happening here. And then, I started at that time to study psychology. And I thought, wow, this has a potential. Mm-hmm. And then quite quickly, through a period of 3 years, I developed a kind of like psychotherapeutic counseling kind of dolphin trips, but for adults and families, not for people with disabilities. I found out by experience, it was not my intention, that there is a psychological value in this experience, in this total experience of being there and dolphin and everything. Yeah, and then this lady phoned me up and asked me whether she could participate with her child with disability, with autistic boy.
Sure.
And I thought, well, I don't know. I said to her, I don't know. It is a very primitive setting there. I don't know if it's
okay for you to live the way we live there. Yeah.
And if you would want to bring your child into this place. But then we continued this conversation. She really wanted. And then I said, okay, let's do it. And then she said, okay, I will also bring a friend of mine with also child with disability. Mm-hmm. So I went there with these two ladies to get, but I did not feel competent to do this by myself because I did not have a previous experience with children with disability.
Sure.
So I said to her, can you bring maybe your therapist from at home? I mean, maybe he's interested to come also on the trip. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know anything.
So did we do some combination?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
mm-hmm.
this guy, he was interested and he came also on the trip. Mm-hmm. So we went all together in November, after season, we went there and to this experiment for all of us. And we were very lucky. It was the beginner's luck. Mm-hmm. It went well. We went into the sea. Olin was here every day and it worked. It was incredible experience for all of us. And after this, I knew that this is what I want.